there, my name is Anita Clark. I'm a student at the University of Texas at Arlington, and this is a book review of The Truth About Leadership, the No Fads Heart of the Matter Facts You Need to Know. So there's two authors to the book. It was co-authored. There's James Cruzes and Barry Posner. Both authors have been professors at the University of Santa Clara, which is in Northern California. They've taught leadership in their business school, so both of them have that in common. James, on one hand, has more experience being a CEO, executive. He has also been a president of actual companies that you may be familiar with. Barry, on the other hand, has been more of a consultant for both private and public organizations. Both have received multiple awards distinguishing them as authors, and this is one of their 12th books they've written together. So the purpose of the book was originally to look at millennials and what they can do that's different based on what's emerging with leadership. And the research that the two authors found was that nothing has changed. So there's nothing really different. So they wanted to create a more timeless book that looks at both concepts they've already come up with and concepts that will be applicable to the future. So they've called them truths, and they have been again taken from previous books and look at the future as well. Now, the target audience is meant to be international. So with it, it's very general, where it can apply to anyone in the United States. It can be applied to healthcare. It can be applied to any sort of business. So these are meant to be general concepts that can be applied to a leader of any age, any demographic, anywhere in the world. Now, with the book, there's many strengths. So the biggest one is, again, that there's the timelessness of their truths. So they were applicable 30 years ago, and they'd like them to be applicable 30 years from now. So there's many concepts. One of the biggest strengths is demonstrated with real life stories. So there's the example of Melissa Poe and how she became her own self-created leader. So she was looking for someone else to help her be a leader, and how she became a leader herself. So that is one of the strengths. There's also conceptual ideas that are explained, but what's also nice is the authors have included their own research. For example, how people either under the age of 30, over the age of 30, the biggest person they look at is family members normally. Now, with the book, there are some shortcomings. The biggest one is the idea that if you're going to surround yourself with people who can fulfill your weaknesses, you're not going to grow as a leader. I have personally seen at my own organization how our CEO actually utilizes people who are strong in his weak points, because as a leadership team, they bring a lot of strengths that make the organization strong as a whole. There's other things such as the truth that trust rules. There's the concept that isn't really addressed at all with it, where there can be ageism, sexism, racism that is always going to be overlooked in making followers trust you. With the objectives, again, they just want to demonstrate these timeless concepts. So there's 10 different concepts that are really elaborated on, and they're done really well. Some of the two specific ones that you can know about that are very timeless. One is that leaders need to be consistently learning. It applied 30 years ago, it applies today, it will apply in the future, and that leaders need to be looking to the future. My personal view is that this book would be really good for someone who is in a new leadership position. So there's someone who's just been promoted to a leader, or someone who's on that brink that would like to take that next step. So in conclusion, there's 10 truths. They all are listed as their chapters. They're all really elaborated on. They're very applicable today, and overall, it was a good book to read if you want to strengthen your leadership ideals.